Hi, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are out here in the sticks. We're going to do some testing of the FNX 45. This is made by FN. This firearm is loaded. This is one of my personal firearms. It's actually got some self-defense rounds in it, so we're going to take a little break. We're going to get the range set up. That won't take long. It's not much of a range. It's a 2x4 across some trees. I'm probably going to throw up a metal plate. Just like to hear some dinging. And get some FMJs in these mags instead of self-defense rounds, so it'll be a lot cheaper for us to shoot. Alright, be right back. Okay, so told you the range wasn't much, but we got it set up. Got the rounds changed out in my mags. Got a couple mags we're gonna run through. Just got some Remington full metal jacket in there now, just some cheap range rounds. But yeah, got the little metal plate up there on the tree. I'm just gonna try to hit it. So get the ears on. Let's do this. Alright, so as you see, stays open on the last round when the last round's fired, when it's empty. It is a double action, which then goes into single action after your first shot. Let's go ahead and load it back up. Oh yeah, in case you can tell, 15 round mags. So yeah, you got some rounds. You can afford to miss a couple times. Alright. Do one more mag, see if I can improve my accuracy a little bit more than that. Empty. All right. All right. Well, that's a couple of mags from the FNX 45 with some standard full metal jackets in it. Really nice shooting gun. I like the trigger resets. Not terrible. Good trigger. We'll take it back to the shop and we'll break it down a little bit, go over cleaning it, and go over a little more details about it. Test the trigger out too. I'd like to kind of see what the weight is on this trigger in double action and single action, and testers back at the shop. So we'll go ahead and end the video here, and see you back at the shop, and we'll finish it out. Thank you. Alright, well, we're back here in the shop. Glad to be back here in the shop. For any of you who are familiar with summers in North Carolina, Augusts can be a little brutal outside with the humidity, so it's good. We're going to finish this back at the shop under the air condition. So we're going to take a closer look and finish up the review on the FNX 45 from FN. This firearm is made in Columbia, South Carolina, right here in the US. Folks down in Columbia, South Carolina, you folks can make very fine firearms. I'm a big fan. And FN's a great company. I'm a big fan of that. Alright, so first what we'll do is the first rule of handling any firearm is you always assume it's loaded until you can prove otherwise. So let's go ahead and do that. Drop the mag out. Show you there's empty there. And the chamber is also empty. So while we got it in this state, let's go ahead and just drop down the takedown lever. And you don't even have to pull the trigger on this firearm. You just hit the release and it pops right off in your hand. Got your lower, put that aside, pop your spring out, Pop your barrel out, and you're ready to do a little field cleaning to get your firearm cleaned up. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is take you a patch of solvent. Whatever solvent you use is just fine. So whatever you're used to using is, of course, just fine. And just make sure you wipe down inside the channels, over the metal, clean up in the action. Anywhere there's friction caused, anywhere where there's sliding, anywhere where the rounds are fired and gunpowder is dispersed, any openings, you want to make sure that you have everything covered pretty damp with solvent. Let it sit for about 5 or 6 minutes, give the solvent some time to work, break down the copper, gunpowder, debris, residue, anything that's in that firearm. After about 6-7 minutes or so, come back with the dry patch, get everything cleaned up, get all that solvent out, get all the dirt out, and then come back through with a lightly oiled patch of gun oil. You want to put a thin, light coating of gun oil anywhere where friction's caused. Throw it on the metal, that's fine. Anywhere that you want to reduce friction, it's going to help you out. And you want to make sure that it is a thin coating of gun oil. You don't want any type of pooling, because if you do have pooling, then it's going to be easier to attract dirt and debris. And that's going to cause more wear and tear on your firearm over time, and you don't want that wear and tear on your firearm. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this back together. Look at him. It's got up here for the barrel. That's very kind of FN. Appreciate that. Alright, get your spring back in there. Slide it back on. Catch it. Put that lever back up. And you're good to go. So now you have a field cleaned FNX 45, and you're ready to go the next time you want to shoot. Alright, this is my personal firearm. I do carry this in the autumn and in the winter when I'm wearing jackets and coats. I like to carry it outside the waistband. I don't want to carry this big piece of this big firearm inside my waistband. It's nice sized. It's 15 round mag, so it's got some thickness to it. Alright, and anytime I fire my firearm, I clean it after I get done at the range or out on the land. I just like to keep mine clean. However, since this is a personal defense firearm that I carry with me, every 2 or 3 years, I will bring it into the shop. We do ultrasonic cleaning here, so it'll get an ultrasonic bath, it'll get an oil bath, completely disassembled, so everything is good and clean, and then put back together, better than brand new. And I would just suggest that for all your personal defense weapons, you stop by your local gunsmith in your area every couple of years and just get them to thoroughly clean it for you. It's just always good to be safe. Alright, so let's look at some more of the features of this firearm. I am left-handed, so I'm always looking for firearms that are easier for me to use. As any of you left-handers watching know, the gun industry does not cater to us, and you know, that's fine. A small percentage of the population is left-handed, so totally get that. But let's take a look. You do have an ambidextrous safety. Safe, fire. You have that on both sides, so that's nice. Mag release, you got on both sides, so that's nice. Alright, and also there's a decocker on this firearm, so you can go with either side. You just push down on the safety and it will decock the firearm. So if you got a round in the barrel, it will release the hammer without firing the round. So it's a very nice little safety feature there. Alright, another feature we have is the attachment rail. You see it is for Picatinny. This is something I am thinking about adding on mine. I'm thinking about throwing a flashlight on there. I'm not a huge laser fan, but I do use this for hiking and camping in North Carolina. You go out in the woods, there's a lot of coyotes, and bears are becoming more common to see. It's just good to have something on you. You just never know. It's nice to have something to protect yourself and your pet. Alright, so when I got this firearm, it did come with 3 mags. They are 15 round, as I said, so it's very nice that FN included so many mags. Appreciate that. Very nice of them to do that. And let's take a look at the trigger pull on this firearm. It is double action on your first shot, but then after you fire your first shot, it does go into single action. So you'll fire your next 14 rounds single action. So let's go ahead and look at the trigger pull on that. Got our trusty tester. Alright, so we're looking at 9 1/4, 9 1/2, somewhere in there. Okay, so that's not bad for a double action. Double action, when you're pulling the trigger, you're setting the hammer and releasing the hammer. So, I mean, it requires a little bit more. Revolvers are usually typically a little more heavier than that. And let's look at the single action. Alright, and that's at 3 1/2 pounds. So that's a very nice little pull for that. For your next 14 rounds, 3 1/2 pound trigger pull is very nice. Alright. Let's take a look at the sights on this. Got your 2 white dots, and then you got your white dot in front. Just fine for me. I have no problem with that. I like the sights just fine. Easy to pick up your target. It's very easy to use. Alright, well, that's going to do it for our overview of the FNX 45 from FN. Appreciate all of you who stayed around to watch this video to the end. And to all of our subscribers, really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Thank you so much for that. We do try to keep up with the comments in our videos, so if there's anything you want to see or know more about, by all means, please leave us a comment. We'll be happy to hear from you, and we'll make the video that you want to see, and it would help us out a lot so that we know what to make. We do want to make content for you. All right, well, thank you so much for your time, and hope you have a great day.